Level 1. You just discovered crypto because your cousin texted you at midnight saying, "Bro, this is going to change your life," and you believed him because he seemed confident. You downloaded 5 different exchange apps in one night, none of which you understand, and you bought something called SafeMoonElonDogeCoin because the name sounded promising. You invested your entire savings of $200, which is also your entire net worth, and you told nobody because you wanted to surprise them when you became a millionaire. You checked the price every 4 minutes, including during meals, during conversations, and once in the middle of a job interview. The coin dropped 40% on the first day, and you told yourself, "This is just a dip, this is healthy, this is actually good, this is fine, everything is fine." You joined 17 Telegram groups where everyone is either a genius or a scammer, and you genuinely cannot tell which is which. Your portfolio looks like a hospital heart monitor for someone who is not doing well. You have explained blockchain technology to 3 different people this week, despite not fully understanding it yourself. You are not a crypto trader yet. You are a crypto victim with ambitions. Level 2. You've been in the market for 3 months now, which means you have survived one crash and you feel like a Navy SEAL. You learned the word HODL and you use it constantly as both a strategy and a coping mechanism for the fact that your portfolio is down 60%. You bought the dip 3 times and the dip kept dipping like it had somewhere to be. You have a spreadsheet now which makes you feel professional despite the fact that every number in it is red. You found YouTube channels run by men with Lamborghinis in the thumbnail who taught you about technical analysis, and now you draw lines on charts with enormous confidence and zero accuracy. You told your parents crypto is the future while secretly panicking in the bathroom. You have a favorite coin the way people have a favorite sports team, irrationally, emotionally, and with no logical basis whatsoever. You've stayed up until 3 a.m. watching candles move on a screen, and you've started referring to this as research. The market is down, but your conviction is up, which is the most dangerous combination known to mankind. You are losing money, but you are losing it with passion, and that counts for something. Level 3. You've been rugged pulled once, lost money on a meme coin that disappeared overnight, and had a wallet hacked, and somehow this has only made you more interested in crypto. You discovered leverage trading and used 10 times on your first trade and turned $500 into $50 in under 4 minutes, which is actually impressive in the wrong direction. You now have opinions about the Federal Reserve, interest rates, and global liquidity cycles that you share at family dinners to complete silence. Your phone has 17 price alert notifications going off simultaneously at any given moment, and you've stopped flinching. You've tried day trading, swing trading, scalping, and yield farming, and lost money doing all 4 with increasing confidence. You refer to yourself as a trader now instead of someone who buys crypto in hopes, which is the same thing but sounds better. You've written off your losses as tuition fees, which is either wisdom or the most expensive way to learn anything ever. Your girlfriend asked you to come to bed and you said, "Give me 5 minutes," and it has been 3 hours and the candle hasn't even moved. The market is a casino and you have figured this out, but you keep going anyway because at least the casino is open 24 hours. Level 3 is where most people quit, and the ones who don't are either going to make it or need therapy. Level 4. Something shifted. You stopped trying to get rich overnight and started trying to not go broke overnight, which is a massive improvement in your trading philosophy. You discovered risk management, which sounds boring, because it is boring, and boring is exactly what saves accounts. You learned what a stop loss is, and more importantly, you actually started using it instead of just knowing what it is. You cut your position sizes down to something that doesn't make you physically ill when the price moves against you. You stop trading 17 coins and pick 2 or 3 that you actually understand and follow consistently. The chart reading is getting better, not perfect. Not even close to perfect, but better, which in this market is worth celebrating. You've started keeping a trading journal where you write down why you entered a trade, which forces you to have an actual reason instead of vibes and hope. You had your first week in the green, and you treated it with extreme suspicion because you've been here before and you know what happens next. The emotional swings are smaller, now not gone, but smaller. Emotional swings means better decisions. Level 4 is the first time this whole thing starts to feel like a skill rather than a slot machine. Level 5. You are consistently breaking even, which sounds terrible, but in crypto is actually a sign of genuine progress. You have a system entry rules, exit rules, position sizing, risk per trade, and you follow it most of the time, which puts you ahead of 90% of retail traders. You've stopped checking the price every 4 minutes and graduated to checking it every 4 hours, which is the crypto equivalent of achieving inner peace. The meme coins no longer tempt you the way they used to because you have watched too many people get destroyed by them, and you respect your capital now. You understand market cycles, bull markets, bear markets, accumulation phases, and you use this knowledge to make slightly less terrible decisions than before. You've been through a bear market and survived it without selling everything at the bottom, which means you have the psychological constitution of a Navy SEAL or a person with nothing left to lose. Your trading friends still call you when the market crashes, expecting panic, and are confused by how calm you are. You've started thinking in risk-reward ratios instead of just hoping the number goes up, which is a fundamental transformation of your entire approach. You make mistakes, but you make smaller mistakes, and you learn from them faster than before. Level 5 is unglamorous, unexciting, and exactly the foundation that everything above it is built on. Level 6. You are actually profitable, now not life-changing profitable, not quit your job profitable, but consistently, verifiably, undeniably profitable, and that feeling is unlike anything you have experienced in this market before. You've developed an edge, a specific setup or approach that works for you more often than it doesn't, and you protect it like a state secret. Position sizing is automatic now, risk management is instinct, and you enter trades with the calm of a surgeon rather than the desperation of a gambler. You've stopped telling people about your trades because you've learned that talking about trades before they close is how the market punishes your ego. The income from trading is starting to supplement your regular income in a meaningful way, and you can feel the geometry of your financial life beginning to shift. You have a watch list of 30 coins, and you know each one's personality, its volume patterns, its reaction to Bitcoin moves, like they are people you have studied for years. The market still surprises you, but it surprises you less, and when it does, you know how to respond instead of freeze. You've helped 1 or 2 friends with their trading and watched them ignore your advice and lose money anyway, which has taught you something important about human nature. The bad months still happen, but they no longer threaten your account or your mental health because your risk management absorbed them. Level 6 is where trading stops being a gamble and starts being a craft. Level 7. You quit your job. Not impulsively, not dramatically, not in a moment of manic bull market euphoria deliberately, after months of consistent profitability, after building a financial cushion, after making sure the numbers actually worked. Trading is now your primary income, and that sentence still sounds slightly unreal even when you say it out loud. You have a routine market prep in the morning, specific trading hours, hard stop times, because you've learned that structure is the difference between a professional and someone who just got lucky for a while. Your returns are consistent enough that you've started compounding them seriously, and watching what compound growth actually does to a portfolio over years is the most motivating thing you have ever seen. You've started managing a small amount of money for family members, which is either a sign of their trust or their inability to do it themselves, and you've stopped trying to figure out which. The psychological game is 90% of this, now managing your own mind, your own ego, your own fear and greed, and you've gotten genuinely good at it. You have bad months and you treat them as data rather than disasters because your system tells you that bad months are part of the distribution, and the distribution is fine. People from your level 1 days find your story and send you messages asking for tips, and you remember exactly how they feel and you respond with kindness. You are not rich yet, but you are free, and free turns out to be worth more than rich in ways nobody warned you about. Level 8. The money is serious now, not just supplemental income, not just quit your job money, but genuinely life-changing, generational shift. Call your accountant in multiple countries money. You manage your own fund now, either formally or informally, and the responsibility of managing other people's capital has made you a better trader in ways that managing only your own money never could. Your risk management is so embedded in your process that you sometimes forget it's there, the way you forget you're breathing, and then the market does something insane and you realize your stops saved you from a catastrophe you didn't even notice happening. You have a small team, a researcher, an assistant, maybe a developer who built you custom tools, and delegating the parts of this that don't require your specific judgment has freed you to focus on the parts that do. The tax situation is genuinely complicated across multiple jurisdictions, and you have professionals handling it whose fees alone would have seemed insane to your level 1 self. You've been approached to speak at conferences, and you've said yes to some of them, and what you've discovered is that most people in this space are either very smart or very good at sounding very smart, and the difference matters enormously. The market has tried to kill your account 3 times at this level, and 3 times your risk management, your experience, and your refusal to panic saved it. You sleep well, which is not something level 1 through 5 you ever did during a volatile market, and the ability to sleep well is worth more than you can calculate. You've stopped measuring success by how much you made this month and started measuring it by how sustainable and consistent the operation is becoming. Level 8 is where trading becomes a business and the business is working. Level 9. You are now operating at a scale where your trades move markets. Not global markets, not Bitcoin, but smaller altcoins, where your position size is large enough that your entry affects the price. And you've had to completely redesign how you trade to account for this problem that you once thought would be a good problem to have and turns out to be genuinely complicated. Your network is your most valuable asset. Now, other traders at this level, developers, project founders, people with information and context that the retail market simply doesn't have access to. And maintaining and deserving that network takes more time and energy than the trading itself. You've been approached by venture capital firms, hedge funds, and family offices who want to either invest in what you're doing or have you manage their capital, and you've learned to evaluate these conversations with extreme care. The regulatory environment is a constant background, presents lawyers, compliance people, conversations about licensing. Because at this scale, operating outside legal clarity is not a risk worth taking. You've had one or two catastrophic trades at this level, trades that would have ended a smaller account, and what saved you was position sizing so conservative that people at lower levels would have called it timid. The public profile is complicated. Some people treat you like a guru, some treat you like a threat. Most just want something from you, and you've developed a very clear filter for who gets access to your time. The loneliness of operating at this level is real because the number of people who genuinely understand what you're doing and can have a peer conversation about it is very small. You've thought seriously about what this is building toward, what the exit looks like, what you actually want the rest of your career to do. Level 9 is where the craft becomes an institution. Level 10. Some people say a level 10 crypto trader doesn't exist, and those people have never heard of someone turning a laptop and an internet connection into a billion-dollar operation built entirely on reading human psychology expressed as candlestick charts. Level 10 is not just extreme profitability, it is influence over the market itself, over the narrative, over what retail traders believe and feel and do with their money. At level 10, you have survived multiple complete market cycles, multiple 90% drawdowns in the assets you trade, multiple regulatory crackdowns, multiple moments where the entire industry looked like it was ending, and you are still here. You have built something that runs without you. Systems, teams, processes, automated strategies that generates returns whether you're at your desk or not, which is the crypto equivalent of what level 7 wealth looks like in the previous video. The mistakes you made at level 1 through 3, the SafeMoonElonDogeCoin, the 10 times leverage disaster, the Telegram group scammers, those were not failures. They were the specific tuition payments that bought you the exact education you needed and nothing else could have provided. Every level 10 crypto trader story has a margin call chapter, a rug pull chapter, or I lost everything and had to start over chapter. And the reason they are at level 10 is not that they avoided those chapters, but that they refuse to let those chapters be the last one. The market will always be chaotic, irrational, manipulated, and unfair. And level 10 is not someone who found a market that isn't those things. It is someone who got so good at navigating those things that it stopped mattering. And here is what the entire journey from level 1 to level 10 actually proves the person who bought SafeMoonElonDogeCoin at midnight because their cousin texted them, and the person managing a 9-figure crypto operation are the same person, separated only by how many times they were willing to get back up. The market does not care about your feelings, your story, your potential, or your dreams, but it rewards with extraordinary generosity the ones who stayed long enough to learn its language. Keep going.